Today I want to show you a tool that will help you study, and we will also practice nouns and their plurals. You will see that there is nothing to be afraid of. Dobrý den, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. Now, about the tool. You know that I often talk about the linguistic corpus, and there is an app that can create frequency lists. It can show you the most frequent words in Czech. What I like to do is I like to look for it by part of speech. So, for example, N stands for nouns. Some of the letters are a little bit difficult to figure out. For example, R is for prepositions, but N stands for nouns. So when we click on it, it will give us the most frequent nouns in the Czech language in written form. Rok, člověk, den, etc. You can also look for spoken Czech only, and there would be oral V1 here. Again, we select nouns, and it gives you the most frequent Czech words in spoken Czech. Člověk as well, rok, vůl. I don't know what NP is. So with this you can create lists of most frequent words that you want to study, and you can pick the ones that you think that would be useful for you. For this video, I looked for the most frequent nouns in written Czech, and because I wanted a small sample for all the genders, I skipped some of them. For example, for masculine animate, I had to dig really deep, which tells us something. Masculine animate nouns are not as frequent as other genders. So I created a little list here, and today we are going to look at some of those words and their plurals. Jdeme na to. Let's start with the most complex ones, and those are the masculine animate nouns. We will do the most difficult ones at the beginning, so everything else will be easy after that. And even then, this is not very difficult. It's all about memorizing. So I picked 4 of the most frequent masculine animate nouns. I also wanted them to have different endings, so we see how they change in different forms. The first word is člověk, a human or a person. You can see that's a practical word. It is also irregular. If you want to say people or humans, you can say lidé or lidi. The difference is that lidé is more formal and lidi is informal. When we speak, we usually say lidi. And I also want to add the accusative plural here, because it pays off to learn it together with the nominative plural. When it comes to the masculine animate nouns, the accusative and the nominative plural are slightly different, but you will see that for the remaining genders, these two are exactly the same. And I mean exactly. So what's the accusative here? It's lidi. Only lidi, only one possible form. So you can see that's actually very similar. Jeden člověk, one person. Lidé nebo lidi, people. To jsou lidé, those are people. That's formal Czech. Čekám na lidi. I'm waiting for people. Čekám na lidi. The next word is člen, a member. Člen could also mean a component, something inanimate, so maybe that's why it's so common. But even then I can tell you that člen as a member, as a person, is a very useful and common word. So the plural is členové, members. Členové, with ové here. And the accusative is členy. Členy is a little bit different. Členové, to jsou členové, those are the members. Čekám na členy. I'm waiting for the members. Čekám na členy klubu. I'm waiting for the members of the club. Next one, přítel, a friend or a boyfriend, is also a little irregular. The plural is přátelé. Přátelé, this is the plural for friends. So when you say friends, like the TV show, it's přátelé. If you wanted to say boyfriends, it would be přítelové, but I will not work with this word here. I'll use the word přátelé, which is commonly understood as friends, group of friends. And the accusative is přátelé. The only difference is there is no accent here. To jsou přátelé, those are friends. Čekám na přátele. I'm waiting for my friends or for friends. Muž, a man. The plural is muži. Also possible mužové, but it's not very common. And the accusative is muže. To jsou muži a já čekám na muže. So when you study a new word and you know that you would use that word, it's good to put it in sentences and make a comparison. A nominative plural, accusative plural. Here you can see the difference, but wait for the other genders. Now let's see the masculine inanimate nouns. Again, I picked some of the most frequent ones and a mixture between irregular and regular nouns. Rok, a year. Rok, and the plural is roky. Roky. Adding y. And the accusative plural is, guess what? Exactly the same. Roky. We could say jsou to 2 roky. Those are 2 years, or it's been 2 years. Počítám roky. I'm counting the years. Exactly the same form. Život, life. And how's the plural? Here's a little bit easier, or a lot easier than the animate, because we add y when the consonant at the end is hard or ambiguous. So we have životy, lives. And the accusative here is what? Životy. Životy jsou cenné. Lives are precious. Or počítám životy. I'm counting the lives, lost lives, for example. Dům. Dům is a house, and you probably know that this is an irregular noun. The plural is domy. Pretty much everything that has this u with kroužek always changes. You always have to be suspicious of these words, no matter the gender. And of course, the accusative is the same, domy. To jsou domy, those are houses. Počítáme domy, we're counting the houses. Konec, the end, and also an ending of something. We add e, which is what happens when you have a soft consonant at the end. When you have a word such as konec or pokoj, room, then you add e for the plural. But we don't like this e here, so we get rid of it. So what form do we get? Konce. It looks like we just switched these 2 letters, but the process is a tiny bit more complex. It is konec plus e, konece, but we don't like this here. Konce. And the accusative is the same. Konce. To jsou šťastné konce. Those are happy endings. Mám ráda šťastné konce. I like happy endings. Now, the feminine nouns are also interesting. Believe it or not, if you look at the list of the most used words, doba is more important than žena. So, doba, which means time or period of time. And we spoke about this recently. The plural would be doby. The a changes to y, and the accusative is also doby. You can use this in plural. You could say byly to těžké doby. Those were difficult times. Nikdo nemá rád těžké doby. Ruka is a hand, and it's irregular. Very important word, but irregular. It's ruce. Plural is ruce. And the accusative is, of course, ruce as well. To jsou ruce, those are hands. Umyj si ruce, wash your hands. Práce, that's job or work. The plural is exactly the same as the singular. And the accusative is also the same. Accusative plural, I mean. Vaření a uklízení jsou domácí práce. Cooking and cleaning are houseworks. We can say that in Czech. Domácí práce in plural. Although we wouldn't know that it's plural only from this form. We would know from the verb. Jsou domácí práce. Nemám ráda domácí práce. I don't like housework. Věc is a thing, also really common. The plural is věci. Věci, and the accusative is věci as well. To jsou moje věci. Those are my things. To jsou moje věci. Nesahej na moje věci. Don't touch my things. Nesahej na moje věci. And the last category, the neuter nouns. Again, I picked the most frequent words that would have different endings, various endings, and also a mixture of irregular and regular nouns. The first word is místo, a place or space, also spot, as in sitting spot, for example, seat. The plural is místa, místa. And the accusative plural is místa as well. Kde jsou naše místa? Where are our seats or our places? Hledám naše místa. I'm looking for our spots. Srdce is heart. To srdce. And the nominative plural is the same. Srdce. Let's be more poetic. Naše srdce hoří láskou. Our hearts are burning with love. Naše srdce hoří láskou. And the accusative, vidíš ta srdce? Can you see those hearts? Dítě, a child, that's irregular. And the nominative plural is děti, as well as the accusative, děti. Děti. It's a little bit difficult to pronounce. Děti. They both have this soft sound. Děti. Kde jsou děti? Where are the children? Hledáme děti. We're looking for our children. Století. Století is a century. And this one stays exactly the same for both nominative and accusative. Uběhla 3 století. 3 centuries have passed. Uběhla 3 století. Národ na to čekal 2 století. The nation waited for it for 2 centuries. So there you have it. And you see that it's actually really useful to learn these in pairs. Except for those masculine animates that are a little bit more complicated. And as you can see in the list, the masculine animate nouns are not that frequent. Then it's up to you to pick the words that you think that you would use. If you work with different groups of people, different groups of professions, then you would probably need masculine animate. If you're going to talk about engineers and general managers and doctors, etc. But for the rest of the genders, it's so easy. Always learn things in context. Try to save the time and learn 2 things at once. You can learn tips like this in my ebook, just in case. This ebook will also show you how to make different forms of all the Czech grammatical cases. And there is 127 exercises in total. I counted them. Now let's do a quick exercise. We are going to do a simple exercise. We have 10 pictures here. First, you are going to use the nominative plural. You will say about each photo. Podívej, tamhle jsou. Look, there are, blah, blah, blah. You should use the words that I showed you on the board. It might be a little challenging to know what I meant exactly with each picture. It was also not so easy to look for something that would represent it. First, you can think what each picture could be. And if you don't know, I'm going to give you a hint. Here is the nominative singular. Let's start. Číslo 1. Podívej, tamhle jsou. And I want you to say friends. Tamhle jsou přátelé. Přátelé. Super. Číslo 2. Podívej, tamhle jsou houses. Tamhle jsou domy. Super. Číslo 3. Podívej, tamhle jsou things. Věci. Tamhle jsou věci. Číslo 4. Hearts. Podívej, tamhle jsou srdce. Číslo 5. This one is a little difficult. I meant the ends of cables. Podívej, tamhle jsou konce. Konce. Číslo 6. Men. Podívej, tamhle jsou muži. Tamhle jsou muži. Číslo 7. Children. Podívej, tamhle jsou děti. Děti. Číslo 8. Seats, spots or places. Podívej, tamhle jsou místa. Místa. Číslo 9. Hands. Podívej, tamhle jsou ruce. Tamhle jsou ruce. A číslo 10. People. Podívej, tamhle jsou lidé nebo lidi. Lidi is more informal. Výborně. Now, the second task is you are going to use the accusative plural and use it in the sentence. Vidíš tamhle ty or tamhle ta, which means do you see those something something over there? This means those, and you will always use ty except for the neuter gender. The neuter gender should have ta, like ta auta, those cars. Anyway, I'll help you with this one, don't worry about it. And Do you remember what I told you about the accusative plural and the nominative plural? They are identical for all the genders except for masculine animate. So look for the pictures that have masculine animate. We will have to be more careful with those. Číslo 1. Vidíš tamhle ty přátele, short i. Vidíš tamhle ty přátele? Číslo 2. Vidíš tamhle ty domy? Identical. Číslo 3. Vidíš tamhle ty věci? The same. Číslo 4. Vidíš tamhle ta srdce? Because srdce is neuter. Číslo 5. Vidíš tamhle ty konce? Číslo 6. Pozor. Masculine animate. Vidíš tamhle ty muže? Číslo 7. Vidíš tamhle ty děti? The same. If you are wondering why I didn't say ta děti, it's because in plural it becomes feminine. Číslo 8. Vidíš tamhle ta místa? Ta místa. Číslo 9. Vidíš tamhle ty ruce? A číslo 10. Pozor. Vidíš tamhle ty lidi? Lidi, the only option. The difference here was přátelé, přátele, muži, muže, lidi or lidé, lidi. So today you learned the plurals of 16 different nouns and also the accusative form. 3 times 16 is 48. 48 forms. Well done. A to je všechno. Děkuji, že jste se dívali. Thank you for watching. Uvidíme se příští týden. Ahoj.